Hey everybody, this is my Singer 107W1, of which I have a couple of them. And I'm trying to figure out what this snubber does. What does it actually do? And is it necessary? Because what I'm finding with all of my machines is that the thread doesn't want to stay on this snubber. It wants to jump to the side. And you end up doing most of your sewing without using it. So do I want to put a ring on there and make it permanent, or is it okay like that, just the way it is? So I'm trying to figure out what it does. So I'm going to rotate the hand crank. I'm going to do everything by hand and bring this down, and you can see that it is starting to put a little extra tension on the thread as the needle reaches the bottom. And as the needle starts to come up, this comes off and you get some slack right there. Right on the way back up, it reconnects, pulls a little thread, and then again pull some more thread at the top for the next stitch, and then on the way down it's putting tension with this spring right here. As the thread gets down to the bottom, as the needle gets down to the bottom, and the hook is starting to engage right about there. So it makes a nice loop on the needle on the bottom side, and then it does it again. Okay, there's a little snub right there. It makes a stitch and comes up. What happens is the thread comes around the side like that, and that's how most of the sewing is done, just like that, without it even being used. So the needle gets down to the bottom. There's still a little tension on the thread, except for at the very bottom it gets slack, and then it starts to pull up. It makes a loop in the needle scarf. The hook goes through, makes a stitch, pulls a little thread, and gets ready for the next one. Pulls a little thread there and a little more at the top. So is this thing even necessary? Is this for really light fabrics? I thought it might help make the top stitch a little tighter, but it doesn't look like it does anything at the top stitch. It's in play just as the needle bottoms out, and it comes off just as the needle starts to rise, and the scarf goes through, the hook goes through the scarf of the needle and makes a stitch. So I'm going to try something with this right here. I'm going to solder. I tried it on my other machine in the basement. I soldered a loop like this on, and I like the solder because you can unsolder it and wipe it off, and it looks like you never did anything at all. I might try making a loop with a paper clip too, and just to hold the thread on and see how it runs. And once I get that done, I'll be back and I'll make some stitches and see how it works. Okay, I'm back, and right over here on that little snubber, if you can see it right there, I soldered on a paper clip. Paper clips solder easy. I was looking for brass wire, but a paper clip's fine. They're tin plated or galvanized, and the solder sticks right to it. It also sticks to the nickel plating on the parts, the Singer parts. And before anyone gets upset and starts throwing up that I did this to this machine, all I have to do is just heat it up and it'll come right off, and wipe the solder off, and you'll never even know it was there. So I didn't destroy anything or hurt this proud old machine. So I'm going to put the big old servo motor on and make a couple of stitches with it. Oh, it was on. Okay. All right, hold the thread and now it stays on. Oh, that's not good. It gets stuck behind there. I don't think it's going to work, but it's where it gets stuck behind the toe. I have to bend this down a little bit. Let's see what happens this way. All right. Still wants to go behind it. Oh well, I need some more work. Okay, I resoldered it and I did a better job. Now I have solder all the way out to the end under here so the thread can't catch underneath. And I did a few stitches, and let's see what it does now before I cover it all up. I have a slight zigzag set. Let's max out the zigzag, or did I already? Oh, okay, it's maxed out. This thing's homemade too. I should really try to get one. Oops, too far. All right, so that's it. I'll put the covers back on it. Here's the tools I used. An old Weller soldering iron, 2.5 amp. And all I used was regular, well, Radio Shack. Am I dating myself or what? But this is Radio Shack rosin core solder, 6040. It solders right onto this. In fact, most of this stuff can be soldered onto. And you'll see a lot of feet that have things soldered onto them and all kinds of stuff. Solder's used everywhere. And that's it. This one is my second oldest, 177744. And just to show off while I'm making a video, I might as well just show off a little bit. This one is number 7772. What do you make of that? How old do you think this guy is? And still has the original paint. Still has the, I don't know what that could be. Edelman or something and company. Murray Hill 4. 4162. Original decals. This one I'm not going to paint or anything. But getting back to this one, I have the most money invested in this machine. This has a new cloth belt. It's got a brand new hook. Well, this guide is new tensioner. It was missing a bunch of screws on the gears underneath, and I happened to get those. And so this was my best adjusted one. This came from a flag factory, And I did make a couple of flags with it, and it works very well in that capacity. And now with this thing, with the thread staying on there, it might even work better. All right, ciao for now. Here's a quick shout out to Luna Sales, who says I should make more videos. And what I've been doing on this machine is, well, I made a bunch of flags. And flags are a little tricky. You have to have the right material. And this red material has a polyurethane on the back, and it doesn't shred. It stays together when you cut it. The white material doesn't have the polyurethane, and both sides are the same. But this will get very thready. So you can't use this for the letters, but this one you can't use for the flag body. So you need like two kinds. And I have this set up for a really tight zigzag, and I'm going to try to make a capital letter D, which I just drew. I don't know if you could see it in a fine magic marker, but let me get started. And I have it set really tight. So when I come to the end, I want to keep the needle on the left, on the left, and then pivot, and then keep going. Kind of need two hands. Oops. I don't know what's going on, but there we go. You have to like keep spreading it. You really need two hands for this. So I'm trying to hold the camera and do this. Okay, stop with the needle on the left, right there, pivot. Well, I could have went a little bit more, but you get the idea. Overlap a little bit. All right, and that's it. That's a one-handed capital D. All right, and then I can take this and, geez, how do I hold the camera? I can take these pins out, and I use a pair of scissors like this, and, well, hold on, let me reposition. Oh, this works sort of. So you take some of the pins out, and looks a little sloppy. Actually, it's not so bad. I sometimes go tighter, but this is pretty good the way it is. And you take scissors like this, and don't try to cut it. If you hold just a little bit on the tip, in there, hold a little bit on the tip, and you can just go like this. You go right along the stitches. Well, not quite like that. I messed up, but let me try it over here. If you do that, then you ruin your whole flag. Like this, go right around. Try to get as close as you can. There. Let me fix this. Now I just ruined it, but just scrap it anyway. There. That's like a capital D. Back side. Had a little something happen there. But that's what it does. That's how it's supposed to look right here and here. Right? Like the flag I'm about to show you. There. This one's been out a year.